It all began on a sunny morning near the pond, where the best treasures are often hidden in plain sight.
To build a fleet, one needs the sturdiest vessels. Only the strongest shells would do.
With the hulls secured, the captains needed sails to catch the gentle garden breeze.
Now, they use sticky mud to firmly install the mast in their walnut shell boat. Now, they are preparing to set up a leaf sail, turning the walnut shell into a tiny sailboat ready for their journey. Each of them lifts the walnut shell boat, then walks toward the small river in the garden to begin a new adventure. Launching a vessel is the most dangerous part of any voyage, but their balance was impeccable.
Toby, the clever little turtle, leads the group as their guide. His walnut shell boat is perfectly balanced for the journey.
The wind filled their leaf sails, and the stream's gentle hands carried them forward. But every sea has its monsters. Ahead lay the great gray rock.
It took every ounce of strength in their tiny arms to fight the current.
The little duckling found himself in a whirlpool, spinning like a top. But no sailor is left behind in this fleet. A helping paw was all it took.
Past the danger, the waters turned smooth as glass, reflecting the triumph. The floating forest parade sailed on, into the deep unknown of the tall grass. Into the emerald shadows they went, where the sun played hide and seek through the leaves.
The world outside grew quiet, replaced by the soft whisper of the stream. They emerged, blinking into the brilliant afternoon sun.
Though some captains had a bit of trouble steering a straight course.
Look ahead! The great wooden bridge approaches!
The current grabbed their tiny vessels, pulling them toward the obstacle.
Luckily, they had a master navigator on board.
Heads down. It was a tight squeeze for the... And they even picked up a hitchhiker along the way.
A brief visitor from the skies, wishing them luck on their voyage.
But the laughter faded as a roar echoed from downstream.
There was no turning back now. They had to be brave.
Together, they were unsinkable. Or so they hoped.
Over the edge they went. A perfect landing! The fleet had survived the great drop.
Splash and a wobble, the tiny fleet touched down, safe and sound in the lower pool. A quick check of the crew and vessels revealed no damage, just a few and ardent. The chaotic currents were behind them now, replaced by a mirror-like expanse that style. Finding their rhythm, the little sailors pushed forward, their tiny oars cutting the water packs. But the open sea didn't last long. Ahead lay the great green archipelago. They drifted into the shadows, where the air was cool and the light turned a soft, magical.
Captain Rabbit spotted a route, signaling the fleet to head for the narrow straits between the islands.
It was a tight squeeze. They had to fall into line, careful not. The littlest sailor found himself easily distracted by the locals skating across.
A gentle nudge from the rear guard kept the convoy moving before they drifted off. The path took them beneath the arch of petals, a gateway of pink that smelled of sweet nectar. Suddenly, The shadows broke, and they burst back out into the glorious golden afternoon sun. And there it was, Port Mossy Rock, the perfect place to dock for a well-earned rest.
With the grace of seasoned captains, they guided their vessels alongside the soft, green harbor. Legs stretched and fur drying in the sun, they looked back at the stream, tiny conquerors of the garden waters. The rock was warm beneath them, a perfect island of calm after the rushing currents.